Now, cousin, I wanted to get on the subject about, the Percocet addiction and the opiate world, and how do you feel about that, and how is that, going, and, everything. And, ooh, my quality looks so good, by the way. But, the Percocet world and everything like that, how is that going?
It's going very, very good. I'm 5 months clean. On
Congratulations.
December. Thank
Congratulations.
you.
That's not easy.
Um, I got in trouble at court because I failed 2 alcohol tests, and my lawyer was not going to fight for me. And I'm telling this for anybody: don't pay for a lawyer. Fight for yourself, because ain't nobody gonna fight as hard as you're gonna fight for yourself. And that's real
Pause.
shit.
That's what the rapper Little Baby said. They said, "How do you have all that money and you don't pay for lawyers and stuff?" And he said, "Because you can speak for yourself."
That's true. Um, why pay somebody to fight your battles when you could fight it 10 times harder? So, um, I had to tell my lawyer, because he came out the day and was like, judge is mad at you because you failed 2 alcohol tests. Baby girl. And that's what I had to tell him. I'm not here for alcohol. I'm here for Percocets. And I did not do any Percocets. So are we going to congratulate Dallas Trayvon Cordero for not doing any Percocets? Or are we going to knock him down for, having a glass of alcohol? And you got to ask people, too, when the last time you drunk? When the last time you smoked? Because everybody do something, if you ask me.
Agree.
Just hiding it.
I agree with you on that one.
But as far as the question goes, to revert back, I do feel like Percocets are the devil. They are demons. And people use drugs to cope with what they're going through. And we also got to be appreciative of drugs too, because if there was no drugs, where do you think half of us would be?
Wow. Never thought of it like that. That's actually smart. I never thought of it like that.
If you didn't have drugs, Miss Elise on the other line, where do you think you would have been?
When I was on them back then, ooh, that would have been hard. I probably would have been somewhere fucked up or dead, because it did help me with my problems back then. I'm not gonna lie to you. And sometimes we can't face our problems, and it's hard to face. So that's why I said, I commend you, respect you for what you're doing, and how you strive every day, and how you make a way. And you do this without a job. You got your own apartment at 22. Ain't nobody, and you're not outside homeless. I commend you and respect you for that.
Well, I'm in a sober living house, but because I complain so much, they let me live by myself.
Because you got that voice.
I'm learning that speaking up for yourself doesn't mean you're angry. Speaking up for yourself doesn't mean you're sad. Speaking up for yourself means what you want it to mean. So, when I speak up for myself, I get called angry, I get called bitter, miserable, a bitch sometimes, a nigga sometimes, nigger. Let me rephrase that, not nigger. But, however, I am a nigger. I am miserable. I am a bitch. I do get frustrated. I'm immature still, but that's okay, because I'm still learning life.
Right. Hold on 1 second, guys. We'll be right back with y'all in a second. We can get back onto it. Sorry about that, guys. We were talking about, the opiate world and everything like that. And how do you feel people that overdosed, friends, family? You had an uncle that went through that not too long ago. How do you feel when you know somebody and you get that phone call that somebody overdosed or died or passed away over something that you overcame? How do you feel about that situation?
I'm still learning how to feel. Um, because I had a couple people who overdosed just this year, and I found out by blowing up their phones, and I did not know that they died. And it kind of fucked me up in a sense of way, because when I was down and nobody was there for me, these was the people who was there taking care of me, making sure I ate, make sure I had what I needed. So it's really hard for me to speak on that, because all I can say is it fucks me up. It fucks my head up. It fucks my mental up. It fucks me up emotionally, physically. It fucks me up. I don't want to get a phone call saying that anybody has overdosed, because I don't find that funny and I don't find that a game. But if If you choose to get some drugs and you overdose, you make sure you snitch on your drug dealer, because I do the same too.
I respect that. And do you feel like what you have in this voice, do you feel like you can change that?
Jeremiah sells my weed, if anybody wants to know.
Do you feel like you can change the world by your voice? Not every world, but do you feel like you could save a life, a kid's life, with opiate addiction or any type of addiction that they're going through?
Not opiate addiction. Well, I'm not going to say not opiate addiction. Never say never. I learned that. Because I never said a lot of things I was never going to do, which I ended up doing.
True.
But nobody likes to see people change without them doing it. That's like me seeing you change, at least, and I'm mad because I wasn't a part of helping you change, or being there to see you change, or being a part of your change, or anything like that. And I was kicked out of Groveport for a fight I had with the Armament. Still remember that. You're still a bitch. I'm still at 27.77 if you want to pull up. But I got kicked out of Groveport. I went to Focus Learning Academy East. Tell Miss Thomas and Miss Ward I said hello. And I started teaching for Groveport. Not teaching, but being a mentor and a sponsor for Groveport High School ISS, which ISS means in-school suspension. So people who would go to in-school suspension wouldn't technically stay at Groveport High School. They would go to the YMCA, and I would walk about an hour and 30 minutes to the YMCA, to and from, just to talk to the kids. I got so many kids to leave Groveport High School to go to Focus, which ended up shutting me down from speaking to the kids because they no longer wanted me to speak to the kids. I know I have a powerful voice. We all have powerful voice. It's how we use them and what we do with them.
I respect that. Now, I do remember something about, you were arguing with the counselors, the nurses, and the doctors at base camp not too long ago, and they were upset with you about that I want to speak on, when you were saying that stop calling them drug addicts, stop making it seem like it's the drug, stop making the conversation just drug. What was your take on that, about that?
My take is, how would you like it if your mom, your dad, your grandparents, your siblings was like, hi, my name is such and such, I'm an addict. You're not an addict, because what was you before an addict? And how we're going to get into that is because I feel like nobody's an addict. Nobody comes out their mama's coochie and says, hi, I'm an addict. You got to be made an addict, or something has to be done for you to be an addict, which I did my research on, baby. So I do feel like you should be able to say, hi, for example, my name is Dallas. I'm in recovery, because I'm recovering from the stuff that happened to me before, and I'm trying to get it, the past, the trauma, the anger. I'm trying to recover from all of that, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. I'm trying to recover from all of that. And I do feel like that base camp does talk about one thing, and that is the mind. I barely hear about the spirit. I barely hear about the body. And them are stuff that comes along with us. And I do feel like if the word has a drug for trauma, and the word has a drug for, to make you not angry no more, we would be talking about these stuff, because we have a medication for it to give it to you, to help you with. But because we have no medication for it, we're not going to talk about it.
Right.
Because there's no medication for it. That's right. What I'm saying. If there's a medication for it, we'd be talking about it. Just as we talk about, feeling happy. There's medications to make you feel happy. There's medications to make you feel not anxiety and stuff no more. But because we don't have medication for anger and certain stuff, we're not going to talk about it, because there's no medications to make you feel better. You got to deal with that heads on. And I don't believe that anybody needs medication. I believe you just have to deal with your trauma and anger heads on.
Right.
Like a bull.
Now, do you feel like that the society, the world is it people's fault for why they started doing Percocets, or do you feel like it starts from the doctor prescribing people Percocets?
I feel like it's both. The word and the doctors give you so many. Eventually, you want to sell them. Then the word, wants to sell them too, and lie and say that they, back hurts, when really they just want, and not realizing that this is what's killing our kids and our families. And until we have the balls and courage enough to say, enough is enough, I stand by my brother, I stand by my sister, and we stand by each other as strong as we can. We still gonna be in the same situation, baby.
Amen. Amen.